Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Voodoogarden. My name is Ray. I will be your host today. Yes, I will. I have a cute little friend I wanted to show you today. This is called, what are you called? This is called a kakusa. Remember a few episodes back, I showed you this big hockey stick of a zucchini. Yeah, if you want to go back, check it out. But it's a kakusa, and a kakusa is a zucchini, and it's the world's largest, I believe, zucchini. This thing that I showed you, somebody actually sent this, UPS. It was amazing. It was about, I don't know, 4 feet tall. Yes, and it was about this big around, and it's a zucchini. Yes, and it was dry, and it was hollow. It sounded like those rain sticks. But it had seeds inside, and I left the seeds inside. But he also, whoever it was, sent me some seeds separately, and I decided I'd grow them. So I planted some. I planted them outside, and they promptly died. I don't know why. I have no idea why half the stuff I do does what it does. But I thought, you know, it's a zucchini. It's going to grow good. Nope, it died. So I was trying to plant my last kakusa seed inside. Didn't work. I had 2 pots of them, and I got all disgusted and I always recycle my potting soil. So I threw it back in with my potting soil, and I'm constantly repotting my plants. And of course, when this happens, you get all kinds of strange stuff coming up. So I got a kakusa that germinated in, I don't know, I think it was my coffee tree. Yeah. And so I pulled it out gently, put it in a cup. So now I have a kakusa growing inside. Go figure, the thing wouldn't grow outside, but it's growing perfectly inside. So I'm going to see how far I can grow this thing. Isn't it cute? And you can probably see a little tiny something. It was another thing that grew, and I have no idea what that is. So I guess we're going to find out together. I'm growing a kakusa inside. Yep. And I wanted to go over this before I go any further, okay? Remember a friend from, I believe, Chile, or maybe he's in the United States, but he's moving to Portugal. Yeah, he sent me all of these plants that he wanted me to babysit for him. And I planted them, and I showed you, and some people liked them, and boy, did I hear it from some other people. Oh, you know what? Sometimes I just get all kinds of stomped on when I do something that people don't approve of, and this was one of them. This was one of them. These are orchids. Yes, I don't know what kind, and I really don't care, but he sent me some orchids, and normally you grow orchids in a bark mixture or tied to a piece of wood, and they kind of grab on. That's why I'm doing this. And they grab on, and they require all kinds of specific care and stuff. And being the bonehead that I am, I planted them in my special potting mix. And boy, did I hear about it. People were like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. And yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you. But they were telling me in no uncertain terms that I can't do that. I can't do that. And boy, I don't like that. So I did it. Yeah, I did it. And I'm still doing it. The orchids are growing fast and furious in my potting mix. This is nothing more than 50% cocoa peat, 50% potting mix with a heavy dose of vermiculite, and they're growing underneath my grow lights. They're not only surviving, they are thriving. And if you've ever grown orchids, you know that they put out these big thick arms. They're like aerial roots. Yeah. And as the aerial roots come out, I bury them, and they just push down even deeper. And the plant, this one in particular, put out 2 new leaves. It's loving it. So apparently these orchids don't know that they're only supposed to grow in bark. And my suspicion is, it's my suspicion, not fact. Basically nothing I know is fact. That they don't know that they can only grow in bark. You know, they can grow in a variety of things. And that's one of the things I try and promote here in the Voodoogarden, is that all things are possible. And so don't always grow inside the box. Don't always think inside the box. Try something new. May work, may not work. I'm growing orchids in potting mix. So there. I'm growing orchids in potting mix, and it's working out just fine. It may not work for you, but it's working for me. Here's another example. Ooh, I like this thing. This is a vanilla orchid. Yes, it's quite a snake. When I got this thing, it was only about maybe 6 inches long or less, and it was this wimpy looking vine. I bought it online from eBay, and it's a vanilla orchid. That's where you get vanilla beans from, that wonderful flavor that you get in cookies and stuff. And I planted it in potting mix. And generally, I guess people don't grow vanilla orchids in potting mix. They grow them in peat moss. And not me. Nope. I grew this, and I not only grew this, it grew so big, I took a cutting, and I didn't root it like everybody else would. I just took the cutting, laid it down in some potting mix, covered it up, watered it, and it grew too. So it's growing over there. And I cut it off right here. So I took that cutting and I planted it. And all of this, another 1.5 feet or so, has grown since then. And it's all growing out of this little pot of potting soil. So, yes, all things are possible here. And apparently, my orchid is loving it there. Oh. And speaking of all things are possible, my little miracle. Yes, my little miracle. I grew this from a seed. This, as those of you who have followed me in the Voodoogarden, you would know that this is my miracle fruit. Yes, miracle fruit is a little tiny fruit that if you eat it, it tricks your taste buds into thinking that sour things are sweet. So it goes really good with the Voodoogarden where all things are possible. This started out as a little tiny seed, and it grew and it grew, and boy did it take the longest time. If you're ever going to grow a miracle fruit, I definitely recommend it, by the way. They are very slow growing, but boy, once they get going, they go fast. And look at this. Every now and then, you know me, I'm always drinking coffee. My coffee gets cold while I'm up here, so I dump it in here once in a while, and it keeps the soil slightly acidic because like blueberries, they prefer acidic soil. So yeah, I transplanted this. It's doing good. It's loving it up here. And somebody else, you know, most of what I grow here is from you. So this is your garden too. So the Voodoogarden belongs to all of us. This is a moringa. And a lot of you have heard of this. A lot of people have asked me, Ray, will you ever grow a moringa again? I grew one before, and spider mites found it, and they killed it. Apparently, even spider mites like moringas. And somebody sent me a seed and asked me if I'd try again. So look at me. I'm trying again. Yep, this is a moringa. Moringa is a plant that is really loved in foreign countries, not so much in the United States, but it's known for being very nutritious. You can eat it, everything from the leaves to the flowers to the stems to the roots. Every part of it is highly nutritious and very edible, and they survive in a variety of conditions. Arid, moist, hot, medium, you name it. It can survive in here. So I'm growing a moringa. One thing that I don't like about moringas is when you squeeze their leaves, and you know me, I like to sniff things. When I squeeze their leaves and sniff them, ooh. It smells like an old sock, like an old gym sock. Not that I would know what an old gym sock smells like, but yeah, if I did know, that's what I would say it smells like. So it may be edible, but then again, so are a lot of things that stink, like Limburger cheese. Ew, that's nasty. Speaking of not nasty, see how I segued right out of that really quick? Okay, you guys, move out of my way because I want to show my friends something really cool. Ugh. Oh, I wish I were stronger. Oh, you guys are pigs. Tried to make that look easy, but it really wasn't. I'm going to zoom in on this because you got to see this up close. Remember, I keep asking if you remember because I usually don't. Remember way back, a few months ago, I was having problems with a coffee plant. And its leaves were starting to look yellow and awful, and they were falling out. But yeah, it looked like a cat with a mange. Well, I fixed it, and now it's growing again. But it's not only growing, it is growing bonkers. And the leaves are doing something really phenomenal. And I wanted to show you how healthy this plant is, because I got a lot of suggestions from people, and I followed some people's suggestions on how to get this thing healthy. By the way, this is its twin brother that I have not transplanted yet. It's taller, yet not as many leaves. Take a look up close. Ooh, sorry. Take a look up close and personal what this coffee plant is looking like. It has a main stem that comes up, and then it branches off, and there are these branches that come out like a star, and they are growing tips. They have growing tips, so they're not just branches, they're actually growing sections of the tree. This is an amazing thing. This is called a Robusta coffee, and I got it from a website, The Beans, and they were very inexpensive. You know what? I'm gonna promote their site because I have gotten so many good seeds from them, and I have steered so many people to them. I'm gonna go ahead and put a link below this video, so expand the description. I'm gonna put a link to their website. They're very trustworthy. You don't have to worry about your credit card information, your personal information. You can order for them. They send the stuff really quick, and it's very, very good seeds. And you would not believe all the wild, wonderful, fun stuff they have there, from mangoes to coffee to you name it. They have it. If you can imagine it, they have it in their seed selection. So if you go there, be careful, because you're going to be buying all kinds of funky stuff like I did. But take a look at this up close. I'm going to zoom in. Let's see if I can work the zoom on this monster. Okay, look at Ray zooming. Look at this. It has a cluster of leaves, actually stems, just like these outer ones, coming out from here. And look at how beautiful this is. Beautiful, crinkly, dark green. The most beautiful hunter green leaves you ever saw in your life. This is a massively beautiful, healthy, strong plant. And I wouldn't be surprised if eventually I get coffee off of this. So I'm hoping. I don't grow this outside. I only grow it inside. So it only gets indoor light. But I'm hoping eventually I do get coffee beans from this. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Oh, I love this plant. I really do. I was kind of scared that I was going to lose it, but nope, I think it's in the clear. You know, sometimes you start young plants and they go through that stage where you really don't know if you're going to lose them or if they're going to make it. And then eventually they reach that point where you kind of exhale and you think, ah, you're going to make it. You're going to grow good. Like the miracle fruit, like the coffee, like the cocoa tree. I had so many problems with that cocoa tree trying to keep it alive. And now it's at the point where it's kind of like this cascading effect of success. It just grows more leaves than the leaves die. And by the way, I think I'm going to prune most of the big branches off of that, because it has a splay of new growth coming out of the top. So it's going to the next level of high. So I'm going to take the lower branches off. I'll show you that hopefully in a new episode. But I wanted to send out some personal thank yous. And because I think these people really deserve a thank you instead of just me emailing them. This is amazing. I get so much mail from so many people. You would not imagine how much mail I do get. And I don't show it online because I don't want to bore people and show you all of this opening up of the mail and stuff. But every now and then I do like to mention it. I got radish seeds, and I grew radishes, but they failed. So now I have more radish seeds, and this is from, who is it, Anthony? Anthony sent me some radish seeds, and I'm going to grow those, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of those. By the way, I just harvested the rat tail radish pods. I'm drying them right now, so hopefully I'll have some seeds to hand out to a few friends. And I also have this, and this is from, I never did know how to pronounce his name, but he's a good friend from Facebook and also from here. Orchid? Orchid? I think of him as Archie. I call him Archie, but anyway, it's Orchid, and he's from India. And I have two good friends from, I have a lot of friends from India. I don't know why. I seem to be popular in India. And I think it's pretty good because it's such a beautiful country. And I like the idea that I am liked in a country that I love so much. India is amazingly beautiful. But, you know, one of these days, I'm going to start traveling overseas. And India is going to be one of the places I hit. But Archit from India sent me all kinds of seeds, and he wanted me to plant them right away because they're fresh seeds, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Things from tomato trees, yeah, tomato trees, not just a tomato plant, but this is actually a tree that has fruit that looks like a tomato, but it's not a tomato. Tomato trees and all kinds of stuff I can't even pronounce. Ujawala chili, and what is this? This is some strange stuff. Indian gooseberry. Indian gooseberry. I researched all of these, and they are fantastic, exotic, bizarre looking things that we are all going to enjoy together. So I want to hurry up and plant these seeds, but I wanted to thank him first because he went to the time and the expense of sending those to me, and I really do appreciate it. You know, I get stuff from overseas. Oh, by the way, another friend mailed me some mangoes, and mangoes are delicious fruit. If you've never tried a mango, I didn't until last year or the year before, but anyway, now that I'm a mango fanatic, I had a mango tree growing here, and it got to be very popular. And I didn't really think anything of it because I have so many different plants in here, but it got to be very popular. The only problem is last year it caught spider mites. I had the big spider mite invasion of 2012, wiped out, decimated a lot of my garden, and the mango was one of the ones that bit the dust. I tried to save that thing, but I couldn't. But But a friend of mine from Facebook, she sent me some jackfruit seeds. And if you've never heard of a jackfruit, you're going to love this. Jackfruit are these fruits. They're the biggest fruit on earth. They are huge. Yeah, they are bigger than a watermelon. One person can barely carry one. She sent me 3 germinating seeds. One of them popped out of the ground and it's this tall. Thank you so much for those seeds. And I got 2 more germinating. And she also sent me a mango seed, which is starting to push the ground up. So I got a mango coming from there. And from India. A friend of mine is sending me some mango seeds, and India is like the birthplace of delicious fruits. And he's sending me a selection of fresh mango seeds from India. So they should be here any day, I hope. I haven't heard anything, so I hope they are. And by the way, somebody sent me a Lowe's card. This isn't a growing thing, but I did use it. I went online. And this is kind of weird. This does have something to do with gardening. Somebody wanted to send me a thank you, and I don't ask for anything. I really don't. You know I don't. You know me, and I don't ask for anything. But sometimes friends like to send me things, and I want to send out a very special appreciation to you because I do appreciate everything that you send. And he sent me a Lowe's card, a gift card. And Lowe's is a big hardware store. You can get anything from there. They have a garden section like you would not believe. And I went shopping there, and I didn't buy plants, but here's what I did. In the spirit of gardening, I bought 2 cans of hunter green paint, and I'm painting my porch, and because it's really ugly, and I don't do any filming out there anymore because it's really starting to look awful. So I bought paint to paint my porch to make it look nice because I'm looking for a new place to live. I'm going to be moving, hopefully within a year, and I thought, well, one thing that people do like is a freshly painted porch. So I bought paint with this to paint my porch to help me to sell this house, to buy a new house so that I'll have more room for the plants, for the animals, for the fun stuff, and to also be a little bit happier. So he sent me a gift card, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of that. Thank you so much for the gift card, by the way. And look at this. These are funky. Yeah, the word funky. Funky definitely describes these things. Look at these. Little balls. And guess what these are? Can you guess what these are? Come on, somebody, guess what these are. You'll never guess. Did you guess? Coconuts. Yes, there's a little seed in here. These are called Chilean coconut palm something. I don't know. Look it up on the internet. I'll put an annotation up here. I'm going to look and see what the word for this is. Chilean mini coconuts. Yes, a friend in Chile sent me these seeds and wants me to grow these. I was looking on eBay for these last year and I bookmarked the site, but I couldn't afford to get everything I wanted, and this was on my bucket list of things I wanted to grow. Go figure, somebody that watches my programs, I didn't tell anybody this either. This was just something that I kept to myself, sent me these out of the blue. It's weird. It's like people can read my mind. That is strange. That is wonderfully strange. And these came from Kyle, a viewer, a young viewer, and he's growing some kind of weird bean. I don't remember what it's called, and he won't tell me what it is, but I'm going to be growing some kind of weird bean. It's supposed to be extremely beautiful flowers, and I think that's great because beans, anybody can grow a bean, but this one has really weird stuff. It's like not a calypso bean, but I wish I could remember what it was, but I can't. And then Richard, our perennial friend with the odd stuff, he sent me coins for my collection. And I didn't forget you, Richard. I wanted to thank you. And he also sent me Vidalia onions. No, Walla Walla. Walla Walla. Walla Walla onions. These are from Washington. Walla Walla onions, I believe, come from Washington. And I lived in Washington. Yes, I lived in Eniat, Brewster, Okanagan. No, not Okanagan. Omak. And Seattle. I lived all over in Washington State. And I love the state. But also, I love onions, and these are a good onion. So I'm going to be growing these, and a few coins for my collection. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that, too. So I wanted to send out thank yous to all of you for all of the things you do for me. I do what I can for you, and I know it's not much, and I get back so much more than I give out. So I'm a very lucky guy, and believe me, I realize that every single day. And I was dying to get to this, but I had to film an episode first, but I was so busy because recently, a couple days ago, Rascal was flying down the stairs, that's just how he flies. He flew down the stairs, so fast to go after a cat. I opened up the door to go sit out on my front porch, and little did I know there was a stray cat out there, and he went to go chase him. And he ran down too fast, and he slipped a disc in his neck and his back. And I take him to the doctor because his back legs don't work anymore because he pinched a nerve. So now he's on some kind of weird pills in order to loosen up the disc so it'll slip back. She said, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. This happens a lot on dogs. So he's a little out of commission. He walks kind of strange, and he still uses his front legs, and he moves around, and his back legs are like they had one too many beers. So Rascal's a little bit out of commission right now, but he's feeling pretty good, and I'm taking very good care of him, so don't worry. Anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that. I don't know. I have no idea why I brought that up. Anyway, Rascal's doing fine. Thank you everybody for all that you send in. Thank you for tuning in on the Voodoo Garden. Sorry it's been a while since I did the video, but I had so many things to do, and I'm going to get this video edited, uploaded by tomorrow morning, because Friday and Saturday I'm going to be out of town. Yes, I'm going to be incommunicado because I'm traveling all the way through lower Minnesota and all the way through Iowa from top to bottom, and I have 3 appointments, or 4. I'm not quite sure about the 4th. I have appointments to look at new homes, and it's very exciting. So I may find myself a home, or I may not. I don't know. This is just looking at homes, but I'm very excited about it. And one thing I don't look forward to is moving the Voodoo Garden, but one thing I do look forward to is a new home, more land, possibly being able to raise more animals and do more things with my garden, with my gardening friends, with my gardening, well, these are my gardening friends. Yes, they are. Okay, I'm pretty much done rambling. Thank you ever so much for joining me on the Voodoo Garden.